Welcome, my festive friends. My name is Emmy, and you are on the Zen with Emmy channel. I appreciate your being here to share some holiday fun with me. I know how busy you are, and I am too. My heart is just full of joy and family and wonderful, wonderful things right now, and I'm sure that yours is too. This is a very festive time of the year. I have a very fun thing to share with you today. And I have my usual supplies, my 01 pen, my micron, although any will do. I have my blender stump, and I have a trusty pencil, an eraser, which I probably won't need today, but who can say? It's not a bad idea to have it handy. So here's some ideas of the patterns that we're going to use for our keepsake. And this is a version of our keepsake. I thought that maybe we should make some stockings to hang by the fire with care, or wherever you hang them, or if you do even. It's just a fun thing to do with kids, and there are usually a few extra kids around, and these are the patterns that I'm probably going to use. These are all Zentangle headquarters patterns with the exception of Pruffle. And one thing I'd like to show you before we get started too far is, besides a couple of examples, how fun is this? And then of course I did one in color, because how could I not? So this is my husband's name, and he needs one too, and I've laid this on a card size paper so that he can so that I can easily give this to him, and or maybe I can hang it up, or it's just reminiscent of the ones that people used to make for each other, and sometimes still do. I'll give you that. I have posted a copy of this on near the descriptions, so you should be able to copy it. It will have 2 of them on it, so you can cut them in half and sort it out kind of in this way. And I'd like to start with a short faux calligraphy lesson. So here are some of the calligraphy words that I did right up front, and I can only rely on the words I have and know, so I decided that I would just show you what I know. So to do faux calligraphy, we're going to need to always keep in mind, if it's a downstroke, we double it. If it's a horizontal stroke, it's single. So double any one that you see that is vertical, and the other ones will be single. So for instance, if you have the word Emmy, and I'm going to do it in block letters just for simple sake, I will double the downstroke and not those 2 horizontal ones. This will be a downstroke even though I took it from the bottom. That is also a downstroke, the M. This is a downstroke going up. And my last one going down on my M is also going down. On the Y of Emmy, I'm going to attach this, and I would always practice these. That's going down on an angle, so I'm still going to double it. And this is going down too. You see how I can do some fun things with that. Now that's going up, so I am going to only double this part. When I get to here, I'm going to stop. So that's pretty much how faux calligraphy is. I do have a lesson, if you click back on some of my earlier videos, way back at the beginning, there is some faux calligraphy of capital letters and lowercase letters. But it's simple. If you keep in mind the downstroke is doubled, the cross strokes or horizontal strokes are not. They're just single spaced, and that's what gives them their really cool look. And of course you can darken this. You know, that's fun and easy to do as well, if you'd like I did with Rich. This one, I darkened these. So if, you know, and I put them in the wild color because it's a Christmas stocking. So, you know, it would be in wild color in my opinion. So I have one here that I'm going to work on. I'm going to open it up. It's like a card, but I'm going to open this up, flatten it out the best I can, and get started with you on some fun here. The first thing I'm going to do with my pen is and I'm working right in pen. I'm not going to try to bother to go in pencil first. I don't need to do that. I'm going to make a wide second band, an aura, to the first one, wide as you like. And then I'm going to come along here and make a series of crescents, which is ultimately the pattern Crescent Moon, which is a really good one to have under your belt. It is, many people have this as their macaroni and cheese type tangles. So I did this deliberately wider here, they're narrower toward this end. And then I'm gonna aura this. Now you should keep in mind that it is always in your best interest to vary up what I'm doing or what you see on Zentangle, because that's the way Zentangle is designed. It's designed to be changed according to what your knowledge is and where you have been. So in each of these crescents, I'm going to do a treatment of sticks like that. And I could darken every other one or whatever appeals to me. But what my next pattern is got a lot going on. So I think I'm going to be real happy with just darkening each of these. Like that. It's so sweet and really festive, I think. Sweet looking. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a series of radiating lines. Start by dividing the first one of the toe right in half. And then from the bottom, I'm going to go on an angle. I'm going to go again on an angle the other direction. Coming from the bottom again, I'm going to go the other direction. And one more time again. And I believe I have time to go, or enough room to have a partial line there and a partial line here. And that'll complete half of my job. Isn't it cute already? I mean, you could do something else with this, but what I have done is this pattern called Knightsbridge. Well, there's a method to my madness. But first, let's finish this off. What I'm going to do is come along here and intersect all of those first lines like that. Eyeball where I think the next one might go. And then I'll have enough room for another. And I might even try to have one more, and I won't get a lot out of that one. Keep my work in front of me. It's always a good idea when you're drawing. And I'm going to put a substantial dot as kind of my go-to in every other one. So there will be one there, but you won't be able to see it much. Follow along with me. Oop, I almost missed one, but that will work out. You know why? Because I'll be darkening those. Darken. And this one, we're just going to have to play that by ear. Now, if you have a bigger pen, like a 05, and I'm going to use my PN because that has a bigger nib, plastic nib, and so there will be a lot more pigment that comes out of this pen. I will work to put some music on for you here while you're drawing and enjoying your moment. If you wanted to do this in color, wouldn't this be pretty? 2 different shades, that would be real pretty. Yes, in fact, I did that. Look what I did. Red and white. So pretty and festive. So, anyway, I'll put the music on. You relax with something, some beverage, and just draw. Relax your shoulders. Just concentrate on the mindful drawing. How fun is that? Since I have this dot here, I might just dot the other ones. I always do the dot on one or the other so that I make sure that I only add the color black and white to the one that I want. So the pattern that I'm going to make for you today is called Niece, right here. And this is what it looks like. So you can do this in any color you like. You can do it in pencil and practice, but I really think this is going to be on-the-job training. And we're going to go ahead and work on the heel of our fun pattern next. So again, I'm going to go right over it in pen. It's a bit smaller of a space, so I'm going to switch back to my 01 pen. And I'm going to start by putting Cruffle right in the heel. So that's a big orb like that you divide in half like that. Start here in the point, aura up, around, and close back down. And then there might be room for you to put a little dot in there, a little simple line. Now I'm going to do that the other direction. So I'm going to start here in this point, aura, around, and close. And there's only enough for me to put another little point in there. So that's all I'm going to do with the heel, but then I am going to add a series of orbs, smallish, like this, and really it's called tipple. This is a Christmas stocking, so the more ornate and fun you have with it, the better you'll like it, I believe. I have been told on good authority that St. Nick comes all over the world. So I hope that he's coming to your house too, wherever you are. I really like that. I intend to close the bottom part off too. It's just quality. No, of course you don't have to do it. And then I'd like to put a wide-ish line here that I'm going to come along here like this. And then I'm going to do a series of zigzags. Watch what I'm going to do, or just get started. Do your zigzags the way you want them to look. You can't get this wrong. Have faith in yourself. Very fun. I'm going to darken or thicken just one side of each of the zigs that goes up, like that. I'm doing black and white, but I really hope that you download a few copies of this, put it on construction paper or cardstock, and have fun with this with your grandkids or whomever you'd like to share this with. That's the beauty of Zentangle, is that you can replicate it. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is push a line on an angle into each of these triangle shapes like this. Push it in. Work lightly. Don't have to push your pen hard. Just let your pen do the work. Feather light. Very fun. And the next thing I want to do is come along here and do that fun little crescent on top. Kind of like we did on the other side over here. And again, maybe I'm gonna double it, make an aura. I have room. Dig in. And then I want to come back the other direction and again, kind of watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a kind of, it will end up to be a line that goes all the way through, but I'm going to do one section at a time in the direction of the perfs, like this. You can call them perfs or orbs, they're both right. Bit of a curve to them, but do them one at a time. Don't try to match them up. You won't be able to, and you'll just get frustrated. And I wouldn't have that happen for the world to you. There. So possibly I would do a little orb in here. Would look kind of cute, wouldn't it? And you might think of something else you want in here. Just got the 5 basic strokes of Zentangle to work with. So now I'm ready for that fun niece pattern. And I'm going to do that. The stocking is up and down like this to my way of thinking. So I'm going to do a long stick. And then I'm going to do a cross stick so that I end up with an X. I'm going to do this again, and I'm trying very hard to make sure that this down here has more than up here does. This does not always work for me. Now you may be concerned, will you hit the middle? If you are, just go like this out. And then you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so we're going to do that again. I'm going to start in the middle and push out. Start in the middle and push out. As you can see, I am not at all worried about how wonky this might end up looking. That's going to be just fine, you'll see. Okay, so the rest of the pattern Nice is very easy and fun. What I'm going to do is in between each, I'm going to go like this, bring a line up and connect it out. And I think I'd like this one. This one will work better if I make it a little bit longer. So watch again. So I want this line to only go about 2/3 of the way up, like that. And then I'm going to cross to here and tie it off this way too. Starting to make sense, I hope. And the next one, again, I'm going to aim for that spot. And then bring one line out on an angle and the other line angle up there. I turn my work to keep my things in front of me. If you like to add a dot to aim for, that's a good idea. It does not have to be Mary Poppins perfect, remember. She's a lovely person, a myth. You don't have to be like that. Okay, I got a dot to aim for. I didn't quite hit the dot. I think that's gonna be just fine. That crack me up. Okay, here's the dot I'm aiming for. Let's see what I can do with it this time. Yeah, go. Okay, and again. This has two differential sides, so obviously it's going to come out a little different this time. And this one's going to swing pretty high in comparison. I like that look. I want it to be wonky. The dot, up, connect. I think that's really, really cute. I hope you do too. Now, I think that it's always a good finish piece, but not everybody agrees with me. I think it's a good thing to finish by putting an aura around. Remember, not everybody agrees. So you might try one with an aura and the next one without. I like the look of it. And I definitely have to do these one at a time. This would be so much fun to send somebody that maybe you're not able to be with this holiday and say your stocking is still hung by the chimney with care. Now, I like to put some dots, pretty substantial, out, radiating out from each of these points. Again, that's just an embellishment that I like the look of. Do you have to do that? No. Now, I think it is a very fun idea to darken every other one, like I've done here. But I'd like to leave that to you. I really don't know if you want to do that or not, but what I would normally do is darken every other one. And then I'm going to take a minute and put something, a treatment, along here. And here I've done Cruffle, which goes along with the Cruffle that I have here. But here I've done Printemps, and I think that looks quite cool too. So maybe this time I'll do Printemps. So to do that, and I'm going to end up getting in here just a bit, I'm going to come along here. You can go from out to in or in to out with Printemps. It's just like a cinnamon roll. So let's do it again. And your challenge, of course, is this one. I'm going to go in and around and around and around in a spiral fashion. I had to lift my pen there. You've probably had that happen to you. Your challenge is to use brain yoga and to go one way one time and the next way the other time. And lift your pen wherever you can, or wherever you feel like you need to, like there. Go behind. It's called Hollabaugh. And I like that those are all a little bit different. I think that's really good. So sometimes my pen goes this way, and I'm going to make an effort with my brain yoga to have my pen go the other direction this time. It makes sense that they would be bigger toward the back and littler toward the front too. I really think that looks really cool. And again, I'm going to do an aura to kind of box these all in. Just like that. And I could do a couple of them actually. Now this one is for me. So even though I already showed you how to do Emmy, and what I'm going to do is lightly put a pencil mark along here because I want to aim for that, aim for this middle, and here's the middle. And so I always, when I'm drawing, want to aim for the middle. So here I'm going to make an M. Down again. And then I'm going to put my E on over here. I would practice this, and I'd definitely be worried about or concerned about layout. Angle down. So that will be doubled. This is going to be angled down. But at the end, it's going to make a curve, so it won't be. Flat, so I won't do that. And that's Emmy. And then I really want to do something fun for me and you up in the handle here. So on this one, I did this kind of candy cane look, and I really like that. So I'm going to do it again. I do have a different one here to show you. This is quite fun too. This is just 3 lines, 3 lines, 3 lines, back and forth, which would be really cool also. Maybe I'll do that, just to do that, something different. 1, 2, 3, turn it, 1, 2, 3, and it's gonna have 4. Working on a curve here, 1, 2, 3, and then I am trying, as you can see, to do 3, but that won't always work, will it? And on an angle down again, 1, 2, 3. This is actually a pattern called Kiko. Very easy to do, very fun. It's a basket pattern, and I've had a lot of fun with Kiko through the years. And last one. Ta-da! A little bit of shading because I'm not doing color on this today. So what I'm going to do is every other one of these triangles, I'm going to darken. And trust that my pencil is going to fill, and my trusty blender stump are going to fill this out. Remember, if you don't have your blender stump handy, you can easily create this fold, create this by using your Q-tip. Or I've seen people use their finger if they don't have anything else handy, especially if you're working with kids. That isn't always the easiest for them to have them use a blender stump, but they certainly are inexpensive at Hobby Lobby or any of the craft stores or online. Seen them all over the place. Generally speaking, they're very, very inexpensive. Trying to get in the points of each. And my shading is only going to be as good as my paper, and I think I have pretty good paper today. So I think this is going to be real fun. I'm going to shade here so that it comes into the white a bit. And then I want to do a little bit of shading here in the middle of each of these. It'll have the illusion of going in if I do that. And this is so small, I'm not going to get much out of it, but I will do these where the two are joined. Don't bother to shade on the black. It will only make it shiny. It does not show up at all. So just don't bother. Save yourself for something else more fun. Okay, and I'll shade down here underneath my cinnamon rolls. And here too. Easier to do it now. Want to shade a couple of these cinnamon rolls, but I certainly don't want to do them all. And I must not leave this. It will need a little shade. Since I'm not doing color, I want to be sure to have my gray and my black and my white. And a sharp, sharp, sharp pencil. Sharper the better. Okay, I am ready to get some shade on, or to smudge it in. May end up doing a little more with that, the word. And by the way, I do have a word of the year coming up. I hope you'll be around to see what I've concocted. I came up with a really cool one, I think. Plenty of shade. Push it out there so that those look really cute. Oops, so sorry. By the way, thank you so much for everybody who supported my best wishes. Kind of helps me keep the lights on here and keep the faith that I know that I'm on the right track with you all. And I appreciate that very much, that you are clicking on the few things that I post. I don't do very many, so it's not much to ask. I'm just doing this because I'm a teacher and I love you guys. And I'm having a lot of fun with this, and you can probably tell. But it is a treat when you click and buy something, so thank you very much for that. I posted it on my best wishes, in case you were wondering. And even though I've got Emmy here, I'm going to go ahead and put Emmy in the corner because this is a card. I'm using my finest pen here. And thank you so much for being here with me today. I appreciate you very much, and I wish you all the best. My heart is just full of joy for each of you, and I hope that you have the happiest, joyous holiday with those that you love. Thank you again. I'll see you next year. Bye.